Hey everyone, so this one is about creating an installer for macOS in order to do a clean install on your macOS device. The reason I bring this up is I had to do it recently on a late 2010 MacBook Air, which was running 10.10, but which the person wanted 10.13, or at least an updated version. So I had to figure out first off how to make the USB installer, how to boot from it on Mac, which I hadn't done before myself personally, other than on Hackintoshes, which is different, and then how to actually do the install. So the first thing you need to do, ideally with a Mac, which you can either run in a virtual machine, or if you know someone who has a Mac that's working properly, you can download it. Download the application for the installer itself, and it will download to the App Store. So if you come to diskmakerx.com/download, which is the tool we're going to use to create the USB installer, they also have links for the macOS installer. So let's click High Sierra, since that's the one that I had used. It'll connect you to the App Store. You can click download. Now when you download this, it will show up in applications, and it'll say, I think, install macOS High Sierra, or install macOS Sierra, or install macOS Catalina. The application, 6 gigabytes or so, will be in your apps folder. So let's say you've got it all downloaded, and now you want to create the USB USB key. Of course, I closed it, which I should have done. Let me see, downloads, here we go. You will download the latest version, or the version that you need of DiskMaker X. So if you want to make a Catalina disk, get this one. I wanted to make a High Sierra disk, 1013, so I used DiskMaker 7. So you've downloaded that, it's a DMG. You open it up and install the application, and then you'll open that application, and let me show you what that looks like. Now I don't have the installer for High Sierra on here any longer. I can still mostly walk you through this. A newer version is available, not now thanks. It would find the installer automatically, but if it doesn't, or if you downloaded it to the desktop or something, you can do select a macOS installation app here. It basically walks you through creating the USB device there. It'll say, what USB device would you like to use this on? Click next. And then it will give you a series of notifications as it copies over the ISO or creates a USB installer disk from the installer app. Now there's one caveat to that. You'll want to open up Disk Utility after you've plugged in the USB device, and you'll want to erase the USB device first. So to do that, you would open up Applications, come down here to Utilities. This is laggy, by the way, because I'm running it in AnyDesk. That's just how I use macOS. I always use it through as a remote desktop. Open up Disk Utility. After you've plugged in your USB device, it'll show up here, and all you got to do is click, highlight the device, click Erase. I won't actually do it, but just leave the name as Untitled, leave it as macOS Extended Journal, or change it to that if it's not that, and leave it as GUID Partition Map, or change it to that if it's not that. Click Erase. After 10-15 seconds, it'll say this has completed. If it doesn't work the first time, sometimes this happens with Mac with USB devices, if it doesn't work the first time, do it a second time. It usually works. I don't know why. Mac sucks. Mac OS is okay, but Macs suck. So I blame it on Steve Jobs. Anyways, now you've got the USB device that's been formatted. We can quit Disk Utility here. You've run DiskMaker X. It's finished. You now have the installer. You plug that installer into the device that you want to do a clean install on. Now by clean install, what I mean is you're going to erase everything on the drive. Every photo, video, everything will be completely gone. Every application will be completely gone. You will erase everything first, and then you'll do the installation so that it's clean. In other words, not an upgrade. I take no responsibility if you screw up your system because you lost data that you didn't realize you were going to lose. I'm telling you now, you will lose everything doing this. So, to boot from the USB installer, you turn off the device, plug the USB key into one of the USB ports. When you go to boot it up, hold the Alt key or the Option key. Hold it down, hit power, keep holding it. When it pops up, it'll show 2 or 3 disks. You want to select the USB drive that you just created and boot from that. After you've booted from that USB disk, you will see it'll be like an install menu, but up at the top you'll also see a couple of things, and one of those things is Tools. I can't show you here, but right up here you'll see Tools in that once you've booted from the USB device. click Tools, click Disk Utility again, and erase the hard drive on the Mac device that you're going to do a clean install on. Wipe it completely clean. Use the default settings. I think it'll show up as untitled again, and it'll show up as macOS Extended Journaled and GPT, GUID partition table. Now some people might be saying, yeah, but 10.14 or 10.15 run APFS. Yes, but they'll do the conversion during the installation. Select GPT and HFS Plus Journaled when you format the disk on the device that you're doing the clean install on. Once you've done that, you can close Disk Utility and just follow the prompts. Basically, next, 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 and you'll get your clean install done. It's pretty simple, pretty quick. The longest two things about it are downloading the actual installer app, which depends on your internet connection, and creating the USB device. The installation takes some time, but you can click the prompts and then walk away. What you'll end up with is the device will have the version that you want on it, and it will be a fresh version with no junk, no viruses, no anything really except the software that comes from Apple, from the factory. Now, of course, there are some caveats there. The version I worked on was a late 2010 MacBook Air. It can only run 10.13. So I put 10.13.6 on it. It ran a little bit slower than it did when it had 10.10, but it was up to date with the new security features of the new version, with the new features of the new version. But I couldn't run 10.14 or 10.15 on it without doing some sort of trickery anyways, because Apple likes to do their forced obsolescence thing so that you have to buy new devices. And so 10.13 was the limit. You might be able to run 10.14 or 10.15 on yours, or maybe only 10.12. You should look that up and know that first. At any rate, that's a quick run through. Not a ton of detail, but DiskMaker X is awesome. It works really well. It was free. It's a quick download. Again, the links are right here to download the installers. All you need is a Mac to start out with, and then you can do the whole thing yourself with just a USB key. I think you'll need at least a 16 gigabyte USB key, by the way, so get a 16 or a 32, and you should be good. Yeah, hopes that this helps somebody. It was super easy. Not as easy as Windows or Linux, but Mac sucks, so what do you expect? But fairly easy. So anyways, enjoy.